Uzbekistan. Like lots of Russians who were sent in the Tsar time to work to serve Tsar and in the different distant part of Russian Empire. And so those of them were born in Uzbekistan, and then of course they came back to Russia, into Moscow. They're all musicians. They studied in a conservatory, but for all their lives they kept this love for the East, for Eastern culture, for the colors, for rhythms, for nature. So I was always very much drawn by their stories, and of course we all were. Because in Russia, great composers like Rimsky-Korsakov, 19th century, when he was young, he was was a marine officer. So he traveled with a ship, Almas, it was like a diamond ship, all over the world, and of course in India. And many, and he absorbed the more significant things from music, from Indian mode, and he brought into his music and the famous opera Sadko, which we all brought up. There is a famous air of Indian guests, and this melody is not raga, but some motifs and intervals. They give this beautiful color and feeling for us of India. So we all were brought up, as his Scheherazade, for example, his big poem. But this, in music, this love of distant wonder country of India. And I am also a professional musician from an early age. I was studying piano, then in conservatory I started to play organ. But when my last years in the Central Music School was very, very hard, and I was like, I felt to do something else. I always was dancing, of course. I like Russian, like all Soviet girls, Swan Lake and all this. I was dancing, and I love that. So, but in the late years of the school, just by occasion, my friend, she said, "Oh, I'm going. There is a ensemble in university run by the very interesting lady." The Indian dance, and they have this sort of like exam to take new students. And I said, "Can I go with you?" So I went, and I jumped. I was accepted. I think in 2 months, even less, I was dancing a la Ripu in the university. I loved that. I just felt it's so different, and it also gave me distraction from constant studies, music, classical music and work. And it was great, and I gave new, and then with our teacher, Dalina Dasgupta, she was wonderful. She was short hair, but she studied with, I think, one of the very famous gurus here, like Manishanka and Maruti Pillai. And because they knew she's for short, she was very talented. And she already danced a little bit before, meeting Indian artists in the festival in Moscow, 1957. So she gave us this very precious. She loved it, and she very carefully passed all the best she could attitude to dance. Maybe it wasn't exactly like, but the grace and beauty and care for the movement. So not one movement should be just dance. She wouldn't allow that. It was always full with. So we studied Bharatanatyam, Kathak, little bit, we catch little bit of Manipuri, just little bit. We danced that famous dance from old movie, which Padmini Ragini dance. They taught our teacher when they were in Moscow. So this harvest, it was a bit, of course, stylistically done dance, but I think it's very beautiful. So it's a few dances, some those, I think. So we had some bass. Even Tilana, we also studied with her. And then Rashmi came. And so we met Rashmi, and she introduced us first as a Mohiniyattam, completely new. And then she also we did this Pushpanjali with her. And So we met first in Moscow, performed even take little part in her big concert, and she taught us. And then that was wonderful thing she arranged for us the stage in Bangalore in 1991. So we all came. I at that time already was in a postgraduate as an organist in the Moscow State Conservatory, and I remember I was preparing program for the concert postgraduate concert in a great hall of a conservatory, and it was some difficult piece I didn't play that as I should. Then I went to India, didn't practice 2 months. I came back, it's almost like, but here we studied, me and the other, she's not here, the girl Irina, we started Bharatanatyam in the morning with everybody, and then we went to my role and we learned here 2 dances, Rangmanch and Dharana, and performed here in Bangalore. It was a big challenge because I never danced. From morning till evening was dance. Of course, I wasn't probably perfect as we did our best, but it was very short. Just learned completely new. But then later on we also studied when we came back. So this, I continue, of course, my music. Then I already started play concerts. Then I was invited as a postgraduate to London Royal Academy of Music, so I spent time there playing these big instruments. But I always kept Indian. It gives you, it helps, whatever you do, it's Western music, whatever art. There are mutual things in each country, even it's proper art. That they have a inner soul, inner attitude to the breath, how it should be, how music should be is natural from your heart, from your soul, so you have to pass it to audience. Sometimes this is Bach. It's the same like a prayer. He has also lots of things which puts us together. So then in my sort of Westernist, sometimes I included in my performances dance. Sometimes even did one classical, for example, Western, and the second half it was. And then I met Svetlana in 2023, and we did a program with sitar in the cathedral in Moscow. So we played Raga Bhairavi, and also she played some solo. I played some solo westerns, and she also performed Vivaldi concerto on sitar she learned. So we tried all this, and since that we did many things in Tchaikovsky with Tatiana. So we used this, it goes like in parallel with my life, always. So of course I'm not. You should dedicate all your life to dance, but I like improvising sometimes. I allow myself to do things. And this time, I think last year, met Kalpana, met other girls. We were trying to experiment with Western music, with my own music, because I'm a composer too. And this year, it's happiness we came all together. My son Dmitry came from Geneva. He's a clarinetist in the Swiss Romantic Orchestra, and also held big classic festival. But he loves it. For him, it's also different world. It's like to develop himself much bigger. So because what is in India is a work with a horizontal line, but find so many nuances which doesn't exist and also rhythms, and so many Western musicians famous, like Yehudi Menuhin, he played with Ravi Shankar, Philip Glass did a composition with Beatles. They always people drawn to that culture. And actually we have Russians and Indians that have quite
So,
always been close, because we're like in the middle. There is left, there is east, and we have all these things, and we're all very mixed because of wild territory. And so it's like I'm here. It's like a dream. I just cannot believe that after so many years we came here. We're different now, but we brought all our experience, and we can join and touch this again. So it's I think it's happiness and a great gift which Rashmi gave to us. She's very special. I remember her performance in Moscow. It was different places. One of them, it was in the house of composers. So all our professors came, musicians, the whole Rashmi stood, and they all just collapsed because of beauty of it, of sensitivity. Because there are different dances, many Indian, very, but as a Rashmi, she could even just stand like this, but expression, it was like in the air, small nuances, and the proper dedication to art. So that was a huge success that she performed, and people still remember her appearance.
So what about the theme this year? It's going to be Shivratri tomorrow, and that's a very important festival in.
Yes, I think it's like goes every year. It will be like this, and we have wonderful singers, Indian dances. We trying a little bit. I will be playing electric piano because I don't have organ here, but I will accompany some things. Then I believe in the free spirit. It will be we'll do what different pieces, because first time will traditional like exactly it should be, and second half we will do from all our souls pieces, different kinds of. With Arun, with all the other Indian musicians, and at the end we'll have these musical dialogues. So it would be a great experience. If I would have my instrument here, of course, I could. But I will not just give it.
How does it, like when you talk about your instrument, how does it sound? How does Indian music sound in your instrument?
You see, the thing is, so because it's
Because the gamaka, see some.
because of course it's tempered, so I cannot do it like Dmitry can do on the clarinet. So he still can little bit
Get
but not on each. Sometimes he can for some notes he just cannot do this glissando. But on the organ, of course, I cannot do all that. But in a big space, I can make illusion of this because also I have flutes, I have all these. Of course, without this in the expression, but when I do passages, and with Svetlana we did this in Pyra, like it's not the same, but it giving impression. And also with acoustic it goes. And of course we have this bass which I can sustain, and it's like kind of, and it's sustain and move a bit and kind of temper. And I also do this cascade of, but it's of course not exactly, but it's like reflections.
Closest,
Like reflections.
Sure.
It's not, and just sonorities, but I wouldn't say it's twice. It's not, but it's my impression on Indian music. It's improvisation. It's so.
How is the emotion created through the arts? We have these the performing arts. We know what we have to do, and we know how the music comes. But how is the emotion generated? What do you think? Like the bhava, we say. How do we make people feel happy or sad or?
No, it's very important because it should be connection. Sometimes the audience difficult to come and it's like sit frozen. But something, we cannot say that every time it can happen because it's something we go something from above. Not always, but when you can catch it, this is something very special. But we have to be, I think, important. We have to be just sincere. no matter, it could be virtuoso, but sometimes person play virtuoso, but there's nothing there. It's important that it's like a speech. You have to. Speech also can be blah, 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 this expression. And here you have, if you have something to say, you have speaking, saying good movement, note, and people even when they're not educated, even but then each time this is proper, they can hear it. They can feel it and can hear it.
So are there a lot of people learning Indian music and dance in Moscow now?
Yes. So that's. But I'm a bit away from all because I'm sort of by myself. Sometimes I'm coming across. I know that there is exist. Some people learn just very
Basic.
basic. Sometimes very good. Some of them. Actually, good. Last year I was doing big concert in House of Music, and it was basically Christmas dedicated this Russian choir, Christmas prayer, so also organ, also like Western tradition, and different. But created as a lot of also like story. And in one place I decided, why not? I'll do this like a draw in the beginning of second half. I draw wear this Mohinyatam costume and I prepared lullaby. So, but Svetlana wasn't in Moscow that. So I said, what I do, it's not good to use recording because it's sort of live instrumental concert. So I asked one of conductors play on flute on melody. And then I discovered there was a person who works for the lights in the House of Music. He actually plays pansori and he plays beautifully because I said suddenly, absolutely. So I put him there, and so we created this little, and he's one who actually does it well. So there are some people they do, but not. But
They're not
lots of,
performers.
yes, it's. But there are many people who actually very much drawn. What I cannot judge it from point of view, of course. It's different, but musically, when you feel that he maybe does not exactly like Indian, but if it goes with a sincere, with a flow, you can feel from a heart. So that's good.
Wonderful. So all the very best for
Thank
tomorrow.
you very much.
Thank
So you
you.
can.